So I am on Facebook, and being on Facebook, I scrolled and I saw the story of the making and the creation of the movie Rocky. So Sylvester Stallone's movie Rocky. I never knew that Sylvester Stallone wrote this story. And I definitely did not know the story behind it because it was such a powerful movie, and it was such a memorable franchise that that alone had so much power in it. I never took the time to look into the history or behind the scenes, but it's very inspirational as it pertains to entrepreneurship, not giving up, believing in yourself. Sylvester Stallone's background and the movie Rocky. Hey, Betty. Thanks for joining. Okay, Sylvester Stallone's story and the making of Rocky. Sylvester Stallone in the 1970s, he did a movie, and I actually have my notes right here, The Lords of Flatbush. Okay, he filmed this movie in New York. He was not a well known actor at the time, and this movie got him some notoriety, but he was not a major celebrity in any sense of the word. After he did that movie, he moved to California. He was dead broke in California. He was so broke that he had to sell his dog in order to, well, they say he tried to sell his dog. He tried to sell his dog because he couldn't afford to feed him. That was a low low, right? So since he couldn't afford to feed his dog, I think they say he had maybe $106 in his bank account at the time, which is not much money, especially living in California, even in the 1970s. So he went to a fight between Muhammad Ali and Chuck Wepner. Chuck Wepner was definitely the underdog. Muhammad Ali, as we all know, the greatest of all time. Everybody thought Chuck was going to lose. He had no shot. He wasn't going to get anywhere in this fight. He was going to get knocked out. Chuck stayed in the fight. He knocked Muhammad Ali down. Now, I cannot confirm whether or not he actually won, but I do know that he knocked him down, which was a huge feat because he's the underdog. So Sylvester Stallone was so inspired by that he went on to write the script in 3 days of Rocky. Once he had that script, he had an audition come up. Again, he was in California. He was an actor. He was auditioning. He had an audition come up. Several minutes into the audition, he realized that he was not a good fit for this film. And the directors realized that he wasn't a good fit for the film as well. So he goes on to tell them, he says, "Hey, I'm writing a script and this is what it's about." They say, "Hey, we're interested. Bring it back later." He brought it back. They read through it. They made him an offer. "We're interested in buying this, but we do not want you to be the actor. We do not want you to be the main character. We'll pay you $360,000 for this script." Now imagine being broke, and you get offered a $360,000 for your first script. Now I don't know if this was his very first script, if he had dabbled before. Either way, this is a script that he had wrote, 90 pages, and they want to give him $360,000. Most people would have taken that. However, Sylvester Stallone did not. He went on to say that he had lived being broke for so long at this point that he knew how to exist in poverty, and he was okay. Like, he wasn't okay being in poverty, but he was okay with his situation and he had learned how to manage it well. And he knew that if this movie went on to be very successful, that, and these were his words, he would do bodily harm to himself, having given up all rights for $360,000. So he remained persistent, and the directors eventually gave him a shot. They said, "Okay, we will let you act in this movie. We're going to give you $1 million budget," which was really, really low budget. So think about low budget films. $1 million was low budget even in the 1970s. They gave him $1 million. It was a crappy set. They didn't do multiple shots. They only did one shot for each scene. They had handheld cameras. So very janky, very raggedy. Okay. Rocky was filmed this way. So he went on to film it. As it's going through the circuit of film festivals, it goes to the Directors Guild. Rocky is there. Everybody views the movie. Rocky is feeling very self-conscious. People are not laughing during the parts that they should laugh on. They don't appear really emotionally engaged in the fight scenes. And he was just embarrassed. So as he begins walking down the stairs, he walks down 3 flights of stairs. Now imagine being in a movie theater, right? And you have just humiliated yourself. Maybe your cell phone was ringing and you could not get it to stop. Or you spilled popcorn all over the floor and everybody on your row was super frustrated with you because you messed up a particular part of the movie that everyone wanted to see. Well, in Sylvester Stallone's case, this is his movie that he's watching, that he wrote the script for, that he acted in, even though everybody said, we don't want you, we want a real actor. Low budget film, he is humiliated. As he begins walking down the stairs, everyone applauds him. This movie went on, the franchise has gone on to make $1.8 billion. And Rocky said at that point when he had the choice to sell his script, this is, and I'm going to quote it straight from Forbes. I found this article in Forbes. So if you guys want to look, just type in Rocky origin story. It should pop up. But this is what he said. I've got to try it. I've just got to do it. I may be totally wrong and I'm going to take a lot of people down with me, but I just believe in it, right? And that's super powerful and we're going to get back to that in just a minute, but I do want to go on to say when that movie hit the box office, it made $200 million. Right? Now his initial investors only gave him $1 million. So one, it instantly made him a millionaire. It was very profitable. He received 9 Oscar nominations. He got 3 wins, including Best Picture. And I didn't know this. I think this is so inspiring because I think we all love the movie Rocky. We all resonate with that movie. Everybody, unless you live up underneath the rock, you've seen the movie Rocky, you know the franchise. But that was just super inspiring. Wrote the script in 3 days. Was broke, got inspired by a fight, seeing Muhammad Ali, greatest of all time, didn't get inspired by him, got inspired by the underdog, goes home, writes a script in 3 days, 90 pages, goes into a audition that he knew he wasn't a fit for, has the courage to pitch his script, and goes on to build this successful brand, all because he believed in it. So, what is it? Yes, I'm going to go there. What is it that's stopping you? Right? It's a lot of times, and I battled with what am I going to title this? Like, what am I going to title this live tonight? Because guys, I'm doing this in real time. Every night I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to talk about? And I've been wanting to talk about this for a long time. In particular, being here, especially in this space of entrepreneurship, business ownership, you see so many people, even on my lives and on my different videos, people are in need. People are seeking guidance. They're seeking funding. They're seeking clarity. I've had some people come in the live and say, hey, I have these 5 business ideas and I need some guidance. I need some help. And I always wonder, why is it that when we're dabbling, we never hit that true measure of success that we know we have the potential for? And I'm not saying you have to get down to your last dime. Like, there are many success stories of people just being absolutely broken. Tyler Perry is a good story. He was homeless at one point. Steve Harvey, he was homeless at one point. He got his big break when he had ran out of everything and was taking a bath in hotel lobby bathrooms. Like, he was doing sink baths, subbing up his soap and towel and going in the stall and washing his body down. Like, he had got to that point, ended up calling his voicemail recorder at his parents' house, and someone had called with a gig for him that allowed him to go on Apollo and that was the launching of the Steve Harvey we know today. So I know I'm hitting on a lot of different stories, but these are people who got down to their very last, continued believing in themselves, trying, putting that effort forward, and now they are household names. Okay. And this is a question that I want you to consider, that I'm considering right now, because this is live. I don't script these out. This is just off the top of my head most of the time. Do you feel like people have to get to their rock bottom before they reach success? Like, do you feel like you have a goal, right? I said this last night. You're not hanging out with me because I'm providing you with hours of entertainment. Like, you want something better for your life. You want something out of life. You're trying to figure something out. You're trying to reach a goal. You're doing something in your life. Do you feel like people have to hit rock bottom in order to achieve massive success? And that's a question. You can ponder over it. You can talk to me in the chat. I'm watching the chat. Or you can just ponder it over yourself. It's so many people who hit rock bottom and then they were absolutely inspired and then they took off. And me, I haven't hit that 200,000, 200 million dollars yet, but even my story, before I hit any measure of success, I kind of hit rock bottom. And I think sometimes having, and I mentioned this in my video in the live where I talked about bankruptcy and my journey and all the things. If you have not watched that live, go watch that live. But I discuss when people have so many resources, like when you have unlimited resources, it really can make you lazy, right? He said he feared poverty once he, exaggerating, no, of Harvey and Medea Perry. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry guys, I'm reading the chat. Exaggerating. Oh, you said he's exaggerating? Okay. Well, I watched the story a couple times, but anyway, as a source of inspiration, where was I going with this? I'm sorry. Basically, me personally, my personal story was, or no, I was saying, when you have a bunch of resources, sometimes it makes you lazy, right? Sometimes it makes you lazy. It makes you comfortable. You're like, okay, it's difficult to think, or you think that you need more things in order to accomplish whatever it is that you need to accomplish. So you typically don't go after your dreams or your desires. You can stay stagnant when you have a lot of resources, right? But when you are limited, when you have limited resources, you get really creative. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you guys. When you have limited resources and prior to, you had all these crutches, all these things you thought you needed to depend on, when those are stripped away from you and you're just left to your thoughts, your ability, your creativity, one is humbling, but sometimes it's like when the best ideas flow. That's my personal experience. I'm not going to sit here and say I believe factually that you have to hit absolute rock bottom in order to achieve massive, massive success, right? And if you guys know of anybody, like I know Spirit Wars 19D, if you know of anybody who we can all in general say, okay, this person has reached some level of success, do we know their backstory, and did they have to hit rock bottom before they achieved it, right? And let's touch on another point. So belief in self. Sometimes sometimes I think it's belief. In order to get to that next level, you definitely have to believe in yourself. You definitely have to believe in what it is that you're doing. I see a lot of people, I watch a lot of YouTube videos myself. One particular video that I was watching, there's a gentleman, he is he's successful in this YouTube space as teaching people make money online concepts, right? And one particular concept that he taught was making money by selling t-shirts through Etsy. And there were people in the comments saying, like, I tried every step that you told me to take and my account got blocked, or I didn't make any money. I haven't had any sales, right? when we're chasing ideas, is our belief system fully there? Like, I think we need to think about that and consider that. Have we, when we're just chasing money or an idea or something somebody, and this is one of the reasons why I got off Instagram, when you're chasing something that somebody else is doing, not from pure intentions, not because you truly believe that this is for you, but you're either chasing it out of desperation or chasing it out of being broke. Sometimes it fails. And being where I am as an entrepreneur, what I do understand is I'm not one to say, just chase your passions, just chase your gifts. I have made the particular niche that I invest in real estate. I don't love it. It's not glamorous. It's not Instagram worthy, right? But I've had a lot of success in it. I'm saying that to say, I don't think that you necessarily have to be so passion driven when it comes to whatever it is that you're pursuing. But I do believe that your foundational belief system has to be solid when you're pursuing whatever it is you're pursuing. And I don't know if I sound vague, but I'm going to give you guys an example. If you know anything about real estate investing, you have probably heard of wholesaling. When I first got into real estate investing, I tried to wholesale. It was a disaster. I am not a wholesaler. I am not meant to wholesale. I don't, and this may be controversial, but I don't necessarily believe in a lot of ethical practices within wholesaling. Therefore, it didn't work for me. So that's what I'm talking about, your belief system. Like when you are pursuing something, doing something you've never done before, or you have a particular goal, is it that you're not reaching success because your belief system isn't truly grounded in it? Like when you are in your quiet time, when you're alone, do you really believe in the thing that you're trying to do? As you're even pursuing it, because as you pursue it, if you're not believing in it, what will happen is you will not put your best effort forward. You will not seek out the resources. You will not seek out the tools. You will not try your best because at the end of the day, you don't really even believe in it. And I think a lot of success, whatever success looks like to you, is coupled with your belief system, right? Do I even believe in this? Or am I just doing it because somebody else is doing it, because somebody told me to do it? And maybe it's that when I asked the question earlier, do we have to hit rock bottom in order to achieve or accomplish massive success? Maybe it's that at rock bottom, there is so much humility and there's so much purity at heart, pure intentions, because there's nothing left, that when you put your energy and effort into something, you have nothing to lose at that point. So when you're putting energy and effort into the thing, you reach success because you are putting your energy, you are putting your effort. It is your purest form of creativity, your purest form of effort, right? So tonight really is about just pondering the mysteries of both entrepreneurship, our belief system, our spiritual values, and our ability to accomplish and achieve greatness. And sometimes achieving and accomplishing greatness can't necessarily be measured by revenue or money. But even when it comes to money, I think that when we're not doing things that we believe in, right? I think that it's challenging to become the best version of ourselves, even in our business or our entrepreneurial endeavor. So I'm not going to stay on long tonight. I hope that got you to thinking about your own pursuits, your own destiny, your own future, and what you want that to look like. And just asking yourself the question, like, aside from the fact that I've invested money into this, aside from the fact that I've invested my time into this, is this truly what I want to do? Is this true? Do I really believe in what it is that I'm doing and my ability to get it done? Right? Because we all question ourselves. So, anyway, I hope you guys have a good night. Thank you for joining me. Oh, we have 4 people tonight. Hey, y'all. Hey. So thank you for joining me, guys. Again, I wasn't going to be on long tonight. I just wanted to ask you guys that question and ask myself that question. Again, I appreciate you all. Sign up for the business funding plan workshop that's happening next Saturday, November 18th, if it will benefit you. Until next time, I'll see y'all tomorrow. I only have set today is day 4. I think I have like 7 days left. All right. Have a good one.